Another priority that some of us seem to forget in this season, Galatians 5:14 says, for the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. Let me say it one more time. Love your neighbor as yourself. Notice that it did not exempt us from loving ourselves. There is an extreme teaching that says if you love yourself, somehow you are not being altruistic and loving and sharing with other folk. No, some of us, a healthy love of self will create a healthy love of others. Oh, I'm not talking about that selfish stuff. Well, we only thinking about us. We only want ourselves to get an opportunity. I know some folks in church like that. They only want themselves to get to shine. They don't want nobody else's children to get no blessing. They don't want nobody else to get a trip to Acapulco. They don't want nobody else to get a new house. It's God, me. I ain't talking about those kind of folks, because those kind of folk get on my last nerve. Because truth be told, if you want God to get you out of debt, you ought to want God to get somebody else out of debt. How many folks know what I mean? If you want God to bless your children to get into the school with full paid tuition, you ought to want somebody else's child to get into school with full paid tuition. If you want a new house, you ought to be able to believe God can get somebody else at least a new apartment or something. God save us from self-centered folk that want to shout and holler. Because as you watch out, we need to understand the priority of you. The priority of me. Because see what this requires, saints, as we consider this whole notion about being careful how we live, recognize your personal value. Oh, I know I'm saying something in the church today. Recognize. In fact, I need for you to be the preacher. Tell somebody, point at them with your church finger and tell them, recognize your personal value. Point at somebody else with your church finger and tell them, recognize your personal value. You're not some kind of off-brand, generic. Y'all better talk to me. You are a designer original. I saw one of the members, it's gotten cold, and I saw her with her show enough fur on this morning. And that ain't no fall fur, that's a show enough fur. See, God created, see, some of us, let me tell you, and I've been guilty myself, so I'm not preaching to you and not preaching to myself. I've been guilty of lowering my own value because of my own issues. Y'all better talk to me in the church today. But when Scripture says, Dr. Clark, when the Scripture says we are fearfully and wonderfully, you're not looking at some knockoff, some off-brand. And I'm not talking against it, because some of us, we grew up on Goodwill and things. You had to, not for sale peanut butter, not for sale government cheese. I'm not talking against that. I'm talking about our value and who we are. We are designer originals, and we ought to not let folk talk to us any kind of way, treat us any kind of way, and we ought not settle for just anything. And how many folks have been guilty? I'm putting my hand there. Anybody been guilty? That's all right. Tell somebody it's okay. Just tell somebody, because tell them it's okay. Let me tell you why it's okay. This Sunday morning, you got a batch of brand new mercy. You might have made some poor decisions in them other days, but it's a new day. Somebody holler, it's a new day. It's a new day. And I dare you to let anybody hold your yesterday against you. I dare you to let somebody hold up a sign. I remember such and such. Tell them, keep your memory, because I know what God has done in my life. Is there anybody in this church today? You have your own personal memories, but all you can testify is he brought me from them. from a mighty long way. And see, some folks, they might try to diminish how far you've come. Tell them, don't even worry about it. Tell them to go on somewhere, because you know the things and the places that you used to go and where you are now, the thought patterns you used to have and the thought patterns you have now, it was nobody but a holy God who kept his. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The things you had to trudge through. I'm not talking about walk through. I'm talking about trudge through. See, trudging and walking are two different things. See, some of us have had to walk through the fire. Some of us have had to trudge through the fire. That means we almost had to crawl. And sometimes God had to send some folks to drag us through the mud, because every now and again you'll get tired in the midst of the mud. How many folks have ever gotten tired in the midst of the mud of your life, but God sent you a few people to help pull you? Anybody over here ever had to have some folks pull you through the mud? But here you are, and after you got through the mud, God washed you. Make yourself a priority.